So what we want to distinguish is how are you eligible, or how much would you be able to borrow based on your deposit for an owner-occupied property or an investment property. How is it different, and what do the lenders look at? Yeah, so the distinguishing factors. Okay, if you have an owner-occupied property or an investment property, okay, the first parameter that's different is the LVR. Usually, depending on the lender, you can borrow up to 98%, including lender's mortgage insurance, for an owner-occupied property. For an investment property, the usual average indicator is 90%, including LMI. So you need a larger deposit for an investment property for one reason. Owner-occupied properties are seen from the lender's perspective as less risky. You are less likely to not pay your home loan compared to your investment property. You're more likely to say, you know what, I can't afford my home loan repayments this month for the investment property, I'll skip it. So they want to see more deposit invested for the investment property. So that's the first part. The second part is that usually with an owner-occupied property, you may be able to borrow, let's say, $400,000, right? In some situations with an investment property, you might be able to borrow $500,000 for two reasons. One is you receive rent, and the second reason is that you don't pay rent. Okay? So if you don't pay rent and receive rent, your borrowing capacity increases for an investment property. Okay? So that might make a difference for a person who wants to buy a property and get into the property market but can't afford what they want to buy to live in. And so what they may do to enter the property market is live at home for longer with mum and dad, and then buy an investment property, rent it out, and get into the property market. And a year later, maybe the circumstances have changed, the tenant has vacated, and they move in, and then that becomes an owner-occupied property. So that is an example of where entering the property market could be an advantage. But what's the disadvantage? That you need a higher deposit. So then you have to go here and say to yourself, okay, would I then be able to pay or buy something for $400,000 because I only maybe need 20 grand in savings, okay, 5%. Whereas with the 10% investment, to buy a $500,000 property, I need how much? 50,000. So see, here's a difference of how I would determine whether I can afford or I'm eligible for an owner-occupied property, or I can afford and purchase an investment property. These are the differences, okay? Yep.
That's super clear. Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Sydney Listings Academy. Just a quick disclaimer that this advice is generic and is not to be used by individuals. We take no liability for misuse of this information and encourage you to seek out professional advice specific to your situation. Please reach out to get in touch with our network of trusted professionals if you so need it. And just before you take off, just a quick note, obviously we're working on something with the Sydney Listings Academy to help educate people about the potential in property, finance and investing. So if you want to support the Sydney Listings Academy, please share the content with friends, family and followers if you have them. And also follow Sydney Listings on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and or YouTube, wherever you like to hang out, as well as our website, and check that out for more resources as well. Thank you very much guys, and we'll see you in the next video.